Recording in progress.
Yeah. Okay, can you guys hear? So for people online, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Great. Finally, let's get started. So welcome for everyone who are showing up today. I'm so excited to see familiar faces as well as new ones. Today, we are going to launch the Columbus chapter for the Rank the Vote Ohio. I think each of you may have your own reason why you are here. So for me, I guess maybe for most of us, we are so concerned about what's going on in this country in the past few years with the increasing polarization and the hostility from people from the two ends of a political spectrum. So a lot of people are concerned, even angry. Some people are just checked out and say, okay, I'm fed up, I'm out of this. But that's why I really admire people who show up here. Not only you care about this country, you care about our democracy, but you want to be the solution. You want to make it right. So that's why immediately for whoever shows up for this meeting, I feel those immediate camaraderie. And that's why why I'm here today. I'm volunteering. Oh, by the way, my name is Grace Wang. So I basically just said why I'm here. And since we do not have a huge group, how about each of us just started with a self-introduction? So basically tell me your name, where you are from, because some is from like a Columbus area, but some is from like like our dear Denise. She drove 2.5 hours to be here today. And also, how did you hear about this meeting, and how did you hear about like ranked choice voting? Why do you support, or you want to know, find out more about what is ranked choice voting? So would you?
Are we gonna time limit this to 30 seconds a person?
How about 1 minute?
1 minute per person. All right.
Yeah.
I'm the timekeeper.
Okay.
We can pass the computer, a computer down the line. And
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah.
And I will show the timer, so you can look at me.
I'm going to mute myself.
Sorry about that.
All right. Hi, I'm Denise Riley. I am one of the organizers at Rank the Vote Ohio. I've been with Rank the Vote Ohio for 2 years. I am currently in charge of the endorsements team, the fundraising team, and I help out with executives. And I am excited about ranked choice voting because I am tired of politicians listening to special interests. I want them to listen to us for a change.
Right. Hey everyone, Danny Morris. I started with Rank the Vote in, I want to say August, but definitely this last summer. I am kind of working on my exact role within the organization, but seems like I'm going to fit in with the phone banking team and kind of heading that up as part of the volunteer mobilization and outreach group. We are kind of evolving that, but it's going really well. Came on after meeting Kyle. I was a poll worker previously. I still am, but and just sort of have been plugged in for a while. Pretty frustrated with the idea of the spoiler candidates. That was a big thing for me personally. It's just so hard to get in if you're not the endorsed big party candidate, and that really frustrates me. A lot of other reasons, but that's probably the biggest one for me.
Hi there. I'm Scott Ellis. I'm actually Grace's husband. I've been with Rank the Vote for, I think it's been almost 2 years now, and I'm helping out with IT stuff. Got involved because I would like to see other political parties be able to get into elections. I think that's about it.
Kyle Herman. I am the executive director of Rank the Vote Ohio. I was one of the co-founders back in 2020 and have been involved ever since as a volunteer over the past 2.5 years, and am now thankful that I finally get to do this as a full-time job.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm just a guy that showed up today to learn a little bit about ranked choice voting. It has my interests. I'm trying to establish if it has my passion. The problem I'm interested in is in reducing political extremism and minority rule, and I'm sorting through to see if ranked choice voting is the right tool to accomplish that.
Hey, I'm Parker, and I'm out by the zoo, and I run our orientation and onboarding meetings for new volunteers. And it looks like I am starting to move toward the speaker's end of things as well. So I get to tell people about the great and wonderful things about ranked choice voting. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me.
Hey, I'm Carolyn Harding, and let's see, I have a radio podcast called Grassroots Ohio, and I interview activists working on important issues all over Ohio. And I interviewed a couple folks on Rank the Vote Ohio about 2 years ago, and I'm just kind of been busy. I also ran for state rep, and I didn't win my primary, but I did pretty well. And I am a Bernie Democrat. I'm pretty progressive, and I feel like there needs to be room for all kinds of political candidates. And I think we need to go beyond the two-party system. So I think ranked choice voting is a real great opportunity, and I like what happened in Alaska. Thanks. Bye.
Hello, I am Nathan. I also just showed up today. I am a longtime supporter of ranked choice voting though. I definitely believe in it passionately. Yeah, I just feel like people that represent us no longer fully represent us. And I think ranked choice voting is the best way to end that.
Hello, I just showed up tonight. Heard about on Reddit. My name is Dustin Metz. I followed this for a while, and what I've kind of boiled it down to is our system is not designed to vote for who you want. Our system is designed to vote for who you want to avoid. And I really want to get involved and make sure that we have a system that allows you to vote for who you want and how to avoid who you don't.
My name's Abe Zawadny. I'm new to the group as well. Earlier this year, I came through Andrew Yang and Forward Party, so I definitely believe the duopoly is destroying America. And reflecting on it a little bit more, I think a little bit back to the 2020 presidential debates, and my wife and daughter and I were out at a cabin watching that from a little getaway. I just remember laughing at these two old men who were the best choice we had, and how absurd this was. And that's when I think The Fly landed on, and it was really unsettling. And I just think we need more voice and more choice, and I think to get away from the duopoly, really.
Just for people, it just, Eric and Jan, Ed, and Gina and Jen. As the other people mentioned. I mean, they're amazing.
So I just raised the volume here. So for people who are participating from the Zoom, would you please turn on your mic and give 1 minute introduction about yourself as well? Let me see. Okay, Andrew.
Andrew's from Nashville, so.
Oh,
Hey there, yeah. I'm Andrew. I'm here with Rank the Vote, organizing for Rank the Vote Ohio, and I'm here to help celebrate this kickoff and let people know what's going on in the chat and monitor the chat. I also wanted to introduce Eric and Jan, who are joining us, and they don't unfortunately have access to a microphone. So they're from Galloway, which is Southwest Columbus. And they don't remember how they first were exposed to Rank the Vote or ranked choice voting, but they're happy that it's around and hopefully gaining some ground, and they'd like additional options to vote for too. So more choices. Thanks, Eric.
thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I know you have been helping us a lot. It's nice to see you in person. I mean, see your face.
Yeah,
So
same.
next, Gina, would you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, Gina Kim. My husband's off camera, Phil Kim, and shout out to Carolyn. Hey. She's an old improv teacher of mine. Yeah, I heard about this on Reddit, the Columbus subreddit. And yeah, I just know a little bit about ranked choice through Alaska. And that's it. Oh, I'm out in the Hilliard, Galloway area.
Great. So down the program, we are going to talk about, we're trying to build different teams. So we really want people like from all throughout the region. So we'll definitely need your help. Thank you. So next, I think I saw Jay, Ed.
I'll go. Yeah, this is, hi, I'm Ed. I am actually from Shaker Heights, Ohio, so I'm way up north. I just started with Rank the Vote Ohio in September. So I'm just kind of feeling things out and want to contribute at some point. I've heard about ranked choice voting a long time ago, but really only got interested in it seriously in the past couple of years, mostly through Andrew Yang and the Forward Party is how I became more aware of it. And I'm a former Democrat, former Libertarian. I'm now an independent, so I'm all over the place. I want more choices. I'm not.
Thank you so much. I definitely see a lot of, oh, looks like Ed, you're frozen right now. I thought you finished, but looks like. Yeah, Jay, would you say something first?
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I'm joining a little late, so I might have missed the prompt. But just a little bit about me. My name is Jay Bowman. I live in Gahanna. I heard about ranked choice voting through, I'm pretty sure I first heard about it through social media being shared by the American Solidarity Party. Yeah, I'm happy to share more if there are any other specifics I should.
Great, that's great. That's why you are here, to learn more about ranked choice voting, right?
Yeah, learn more about how it can continue to work towards being a reality of how we vote and not just a great idea.
That's awesome. That's great attitude. So thank you everyone for your introduction. I totally resonate with all of what you said. Since this will be a Columbus chapter, we'll started with how we started. So our executive director, Kyle, is going to talk about the origin and our vision. So let's give you a little bit the introduction about Kyle. Like I mentioned, he's our newly selected executive director of Rank the World Ohio, which he helped establish as an educational, nonpartisan nonprofit in 2020. Kyle's previous experience includes managing democracy program in Iraq and Lebanon for the National Democratic Institute for International Affairs, and the staffing President Obama as a writer in the White House Correspondent Office. He's a graduate of Ohio Wesleyan University and the Harvard Kennedy School of Government. So yesterday he did a presentation at his alma mater, and I was very impressed by his political knowledge and ongoing passion to preserve our democracy. So let's welcome our Kyle.
Thank you, Grace, for that very lovely introduction. Yes, as you said, Rank the Vote Ohio was founded in 2020 by a group of volunteers, including myself, as an official educational nonpartisan nonprofit. And we were volunteer-led and run for most of our existence until recently. Through help from Rank the Vote National Organization, we have started to be able to hire staff. And so I was able to quit my previous job and now am focused full-time on trying to bring ranked choice voting to Ohio. So what is ranked choice voting? The way that we like to describe it is that instead of just picking one when you vote, you rank your choices first, second, third, and so forth. And if someone wins the majority, they win, like any other election. But if, as often happens in Ohio, no one wins a majority, meaning more than 50%, then the last place candidate is eliminated. Those votes transfer to those voters' next choice, and the process continues until someone actually wins a majority. This means that more parties and candidates can run. It means that voters have more choice and more voice of who is actually going to represent them. And the representatives, and most importantly, have an incentive to appeal to the majority of voters instead of to the extremes. So how do we make this happen in Ohio? We are following a game plan that has been successful in Maine, Alaska, Nevada. And so the first step is education. That's why our focus is increasing public awareness and support for what ranked choice voting is, for the fact that even if people have heard about it from a YouTube video or an article or the news, they might not know that Rank the Vote Ohio exists and that we are the organization, we are the volunteers who are going to make this happen the way that others have in other states. Now, in order to do that, we expect we will have to do a statewide ballot initiative like other states have done. We do have two legislative allies, two former Ohio representatives, one Republican, one Democrat. They have been talking with current legislators. We know that we have bipartisan support in the current state house and in the next state house. However, we know that we can't rely on them to do the right thing. So in the meantime, we are focusing on education in order to build toward a viable campaign for a statewide ballot initiative. And so that involves in 2023, we are trying to identify cities where we could do a ballot initiative in 2023, where we might know members of city council who would be supportive of putting this on the ballot, for instance, or where we might know that we have enough support that we could do a citizen ballot initiative at the local level in order to use those cities as a base of support for a statewide ballot initiative in 2024. And we do expect to be collecting signatures for statewide ballot initiative as soon as the summer of 2023, just to make sure that we're able to collect enough to make sure that we'll get on the ballot in 2024. Now, in order to do this, we need to show our viability as an organization in order to get more attention, more investment from people who are interested. So we're trying to increase the number of people. We're trying to increase the amount of money. That means even small dollar donations, people who give $5 or recurring $5 per month really helps to just cover our operating expenses, but also to show that a broad swath of people are investing in the movement, and also endorsements. People want to hear from people who they see as credible that ranked choice voting is something worthy of support. And so we are very proud that we as an organization have gotten endorsements so far from across the political spectrum, from political parties and candidates. And we are continuing to try to spread the word, talk in front of people in order to build our movement. And we need your help to do that. And we are doing it with a focus on a more local and in-person level, which is why this Central Ohio chapter kickoff is so critical, because Ohio is a really big state. But the most successful organizing happens when people build local relationships. And you can do that relational organizing of, oh, who's doing what in what neighborhood, in what city around Columbus, and things like that. And you find out where's their base of support, where are the best places to canvass and get together as a group and go and start talking to people about ranked choice voting and how we can bring more people into the movement. And so we're so excited that Grace has volunteered to lead this Central Ohio chapter. So thank you, Grace.
Thank you. Thank you, Kyle. Yeah, we are all excited about this new beginning. Of course, we cannot do it without the support from the Rank the Vote national team. And we are very happy to have Monica with us today. She is the National Organizing Director with Rank the Vote national team. She was the statewide organizer for Voter Choice Massachusetts, also served as campaign manager and the community organizer for various candidates and the ballot issues. Prior to her political dedication, Monica had 10 years of experience in a software career. She holds a bachelor in mathematics and a minor in physics from Northeastern University. She also has a master in applied mathematics from the University of Virginia. So just reading those degrees, I'm always like mind blowing. So yesterday I witnessed Monica in action. She was truly a powerhouse preparing this movement. So we are very fortunate to have her here today to share her rich experience and provide much needed help to our new chapter. So Monica, would you come here to talk a few words about the national trend and how you're going to help us?
Sure. All right. Hello, everyone. All right. So the chapters are where it all happens. So we've all sort of launched a lot of these statewide groups during the pandemic. So Ohio included. It was, I think, was it summer 2020? Wow. Summer 2020. Remember that? It was like things just barely started to open up. Right. And so, you know, we're probably going to be dealing with the pandemic for a long time still, but we're getting out there, right? We were just out there canvassing for 3 days here. A lot of the best organizing happens in person. So it's so beautiful to see so many people on the Zoom and here in person. So thank you so much all for joining us. So the local chapters are incredibly important to be spread out across the big state of Ohio. I mean, it's great that Columbus is, it's great that you're in a state where you have a central point like this, because if like Denise, what was it, like 2 hours it took you to get here, right? Like that, at least that's possible. 2 hours is not like the end of the world, but it's still like a huge commitment. So thank you so much for coming. But at the local level is where a ton of the action happens. So actually, do you have the org chart for Ohio, or or should I show that on my laptop? The org chart?
Yeah, it's here.
Should I do it? I can do it from my computer. Okay. Do you want to mute that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so now that. Unmute. And I will share my screen. Okay, this is the structure of the statewide organization. Is it sort of basically like this, or did you guys change it? Or it's basically like this, right? Some of the state groups change it. So a lot of these groups offer statewide support. So statewide, down at the bottom in the purple, pink, policy and research, social media can be statewide, art and video can be statewide, technology can be statewide, and up at the top, executive and messaging. We're so grateful that Kyle is able to focus on this full time now. He's in a lot of meetings, a lot of fancy people and a lot of fancy meetings. So, the messaging also sort of comes from that executive area. But down in the middle here, what Kyle was talking about with the people, money, and endorsements, this is the meat and potatoes of it. The people and the money and the endorsements. So let's focus more on sort of priorities. People's like top priority, endorsements are very important, and money's also very important. But the people column, the live outreach and the volunteer onboarding especially, is absolutely critical to do and to embrace at the local level to bring people in. So we were just canvassing for the last 3 days, and we have all of these sign-up sheets from all of our conversations that we were talking to, I don't know, I think it's like 150 people that we've brought in. And these people are all from Columbus, right? So we just basically doubled the size of your movement in 3 days because we were out canvassing. So we were essentially at like Capital University, OSU, and Wesleyan. Yes. And we were canvassing. We were also the wonderful speaking gig. So a lot of activity over the last 3 days. So yay, Kyle's here full time now and can really do a lot, right? So live outreach and the Speakers Bureau and the endorsements is key. The speaking engagement that we did yesterday, hopefully, we may get some endorsements from the activist groups at the university and the professors and so on and so forth, and things will just pan out. So these are the key things that need to be done at the chapter level. The canvassing is kind of like an in-person thing. And the speaking engagements might be virtual, but generally nowadays they're probably in person. So it's really important to sort of get out from behind the computer and actually engage in the community. So welcome, Troy. Troy just walked in. He was out canvassing yesterday as well. So we are going to be talking about these action sign-up forms in a few moments, and we're going to be having some breakouts to talk about the action that we can take locally. But this is really how we grow the movement in Columbus, with live outreach, volunteer onboarding, and primarily speakers and endorsements. So those are the sort of 4 key areas. You don't have to worry about everything. We have a statewide, you can certainly help statewide with these other things too. If you're like, but I want to be on the statewide tech team. Yes, please do that. But at the chapter level, there's a few key things that we're going to be talking about in these forms that really can only sort of be done at the local level. In terms of help from national, I am here from national. Andrew is here from national on the Zoom part of this. Hello, Andrew. He's been helping us out, but Andrew focuses on some fundraising things as well as volunteer engagement, which is after that top level executive functioning. volunteer onboarding and engagement is the absolute next most important thing, because we can do all the canvassing we want and but if nobody's bringing these people into the organization and engaging them, then we might as well have not even done it, right? Don't listen to that, Troy. Troy was like, I was just out there yesterday, right? So volunteer onboarding is absolutely, absolutely critical. And then Catherine is also on from National. She's been helping us out with some tech stuff, which is great, some phone banking stuff. And all of these things fit together. We go out and we canvas, we go out and we do speaking gigs, and then we bring people on, we engage those volunteers, and then hopefully they will, want to get involved in the organization as well. And that is how, we have about 10 people on the Zoom and about 10 people in the room here. And that is how we grow to 20 and then 100 and then 1,000 right here in Columbus. So I think at this point, I will pass it over to you, Grace, and I will take this down and I'll stop sharing.
Thank you, Monica. I'm very excited. So now we'll talk about how we're going to act. So this chapter is, I will consider is like our boots on the ground. So we need to roll up our sleeves and get to act. So I have been in the beginning, Scott mentioned, we have been with organization volunteering for about 2 years. So just in the past 2 years, I have seen a lot of changes. When we first started canvassing, a lot of people never even heard about the ranked choice voting. But in the past 2 years, we see so many changes at the national level. First was the success use of ranked choice voting in Alaska. That brought a lot of attention, and a lot of people started, I heard about that, because in this summer when we canvass again, a much more percentage of people they heard about it. And also, to my experience, as long as even someone have not heard about it, if they are willing to spend 2 minutes with us, dominantly majority of them, they say, yeah, I like this idea. I can see this will work. Comparing to our current system is a much better choice. So I feel like our biggest challenge is the public awareness. So how we are going to do this? So we need to build large, diverse, and local groups. Like Kyle, he has been in touch with all those legislators and also those state level, basically higher level talks. But in order to make this happen, we need to start from the ground. So we need to build a movement from down to up. And that's why we are starting the Central Ohio chapter. So for Monica just talked about the statewide structure, but at the local chapter level, we have a similar function groups, basically people, money, and endorsement. But at this stage, I would like to focus on the people part, because that's the most important element to really make it grow. And so here is what I'm thinking. In order to grow this movement, we are going to do more canvassing. So this is basically when we say live outreach, basically we're going to build up a canvassing group. So based on the Columbus area, like suburbs, I have divided into few groups. So I'm going to share my screen. By the way, so for people in person, you have picked up a sign-up sheet, right? Oh, sorry, it's right here. Does anybody know that? Yes. So Parker, Monica, can you share the link so people online can also have
Andrew shared.
Okay, great. Thank you, Andrew. So you're just taking care of everything. So from the sign-up sheet on the second page, you are going to see so roughly I'm having 7 areas right now, but Delaware is kind of very further north, is not so close to Columbus. Also Grove City is kind of a further south. So mainly we have 5 groups right now. So the first one is downtown Columbus, Upper Arlington, Greenville Heights. The second is kind of in the middle of Columbus, like Clintonville, Worthington. And the third one is kind of northwest, like Powell, Dublin, and Hilliard. The fourth one is northeast, like Westernville, New Albany, and then Gahanna and Reynoldsburg. So my target or my challenge for all the activists today, would you please step up and lead one of these canvassing teams? This will be a very critical first step for us to really started doing the groundwork. So right now, maybe you can think about it. So I know, like Nathan, you are from Gahanna.
I'm from Gahanna.
Oh, downtown. I think today I heard who is from Gahanna. Oh, okay. Gina, you are from Hilliard. Did someone say you're from Hilliard? Okay. I think I'm not dreaming. I think I heard someone from Gahanna. Oh, maybe someone online. Let me see.
I think it was Eric and Jane online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay. I wrote you down, Jay. so you cannot deny now. Yeah. So I think yeah, right now this is my top priority. After this section, so initially we said we are going to have 2 breakout rooms, but since we have a small group, I think we do not need to do breakout rooms. We will stay together and go through each section. So you do not need to like tell me right now, but please seriously consider this. We do care about this movement, and that's how we make it happen. Everyone needs to step up to contribute, to waste your support and to recruit like more people, like tell your friends, tell your neighbor. Like for coworkers, I think it depends. Like so if like more open-minded coworker, they don't care talking about these kind of things, because this is, no matter what, this is non-partisan like nonprofit. So a lot of people, because like for my own example, I can tell like some of my friends, they are moderate Republican. They pretty much really support this idea as well. And of course, I see more support from progressive friends, like liberal on the liberal side. So basically, yeah, everyone, please like take into action, like take some leader. I consider everyone here a leader from our community because you showed up today, and that's a lot of leadership. So, and also, let me see.
Did you want us to do the vote?
Yes. Okay.
Grace, where is Bexley and East Columbus?
Oh, that's a good point. Bexley, I would say downtown. Yeah, downtown. That's a good point. I'm going to add Bexley to the downtown area.
Yeah, that's where Capital University was.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love it. That's my district. I'm a ward rep, so that's starting. And that's my district. When I ran, I was in, downtown, east of downtown, the airport, and a big swath of places. Central Park. Can I say so I'm gonna do it here.
Yeah, it's easier.
So I try not to eat gluten, but I've been eating gluten on this trip. And I feel like I got spun up on the gluten thing in Bexley. Best ever pizza. And what was it? Egg and sausage breakfast thing. It was like at Kitty's. And then the pizza, I don't even know the name of the place, but it was across the street from where I was canvassing at Capitol.
August, or was it?
It was by, what was the name of that memorial? Rufus Memorial, the Learning Center?
But if you have not
By the
tried,
field house, yeah.
if you have not tried Howard's Pizza, you have to.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Canvas in Bexley, Capital University.
Awesome. Yes. So right now I'm thinking at least we do bi-weekly canvassing. And so Monica and Kyle is going to give us a live demo, like how it goes when you go out canvassing.
Oh, I'm gonna send you. Okay, I'll do. Okay. Sorry.
So do you want like both maybe say,
We can do it.
yeah, do here, so I don't need to switch around.
All right, so I'm gonna send you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Where
I'm-
are we? Oh, go ahead.
I'm walking along at Capital University.
You're walking along at Capital University, my favorite place?
Yeah, I'm
Oh my
just
God.
on my way to the
Did I just have
library.
my pizza?
Yes, you did.
I just had my
And I'm on
pizza.
my way to the library to study.
To study. Okay, great. Hi, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Great. Have you heard of ranked choice voting?
No.
No. Do you like cookies?
Yes.
Yes, good. No.
No, I don't like cookies.
Do you like milkshake?
Oh yeah, I like milkshake.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm showing him a ballot that has 4 different types of cookies, which could be milkshakes. What is your favorite flavor for the milkshake? The chocolate chip, the oatmeal raisin. The
Oh, pumpkin spice is my
pumpkin
favorite.
spice.
Yes.
Okay, great. So that is your first. What's your second?
The oatmeal raisin,
Okay, the oatmeal raisin.
and then chocolate chip cookie,
Okay.
and then the
Butter.
butter and sugar. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. That is ranked choice voting. You rank your choices in order of preference. First choice, second choice, third choice.
So instead of just having 2 options,
Yeah.
you can do more. How does it get counted?
Yeah, and I have some really good news for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so good news and bad news. So first of all, the bad news is I've been doing this for 3 days. Almost nobody says pumpkin spice. I'm so sorry, but that's like 2% of the people.
Right, right.
It's definitely delicious. I love it though. But here's the good news.
Mhm.
With ranked choice voting, if you had that second choice oatmeal raisin, that's pretty popular.
Okay. Yeah.
And the third choice chocolate chip, very popular.
Okay.
If pumpkin spice couldn't win, your vote could transfer to the oatmeal raisin.
Oh, okay.
And those flavors are sort of similar with the cinnamon and the nutmeg and everything. So I
Yeah.
can totally see why
So-
you like those.
Right. So even if I didn't get my first choice, I
Yes.
could still get my
Yes.
second choice or my third choice
Does that
instead of
sound-
my fourth.
Yeah, does it
Okay.
sound like something you can get behind?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Can you sign up here to show that you support?
Sure, sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Now I give him a minute. People focus very intensely during this. So what's your major?
Education.
Education, great. And
Yes.
are you a professor or are you a student?
I'm a grad student.
You're a grad
Yes.
student. Wow, that's fantastic. Are you in any clubs or activist groups?
I like to run.
You like to run.
Yes.
Wow, great. So just try to build a little bit of a relationship there with them. I didn't really get anything from that. I was hoping you were gonna say the football thing.
Oh, yeah.
But
Sorry.
I dropped the Heisman thing because they use ranked
Oh,
choice
yeah.
voting in the Heisman.
Oh, yeah. I like to watch movies. I'm a movie buff.
Oh, okay. So the Oscars use ranked choice voting.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's so cool.
You know, try to like find out what groups they're in or get to know them a little bit so that you can maybe bring them. So he's filling the thing out. Say, okay, well, thank you so much. Would you be interested in volunteering with us?
What would that involve?
That could involve, you know, whatever. You could do what I'm doing, which is actually really fun, talking to different people. We also have a way where you could talk to people about ranked choice voting in a more professional way with like a slide deck.
Oh,
If you like
okay.
to do something really snazzy. If talking to people is super scary, you can do back office stuff like data entry or
okay.
tech. I think we need a tech lead right now.
Oh, okay.
Or if you don't mind talking to people, but you wanted to just be like one-on-one on the phone, so there's like a little bit of distance. somebody is going to actually onboard the volunteer.
Oh,
So
okay.
that is an incredibly important. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm definitely interested in
Okay,
learning more how I can
cool.
help. This is a really good idea.
Great. And would you like to donate?
Sure, why not?
Okay, great. Do you want to do cash or credit card?
Could I do on the website?
Sure, we'll send you the link.
Okay,
Thank you
great.
so much.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, it was wonderful to meet you. Let me give you this piece of paper. I'm giving him a piece of paper. We are having a chapter meeting. We meet regularly. We're having a chapter meeting in 3 weeks on Wednesday at the Columbus Library. And then we're going to go out after to like a restaurant or a bar or whatever, and just like hang out and get to know each other a little bit more. There's a lot of people really passionate about this issue. And we've recently doubled the size of our movement right here in Columbus.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good day.
You too.
And then go right to the next person.
Thank you so much. I surely learned a lot. Like Danny has been cameras in the Parker with me. So for me, I just jumped right up front. Hey, have you heard of ranked choice voting? People say, no, what's that? Now just started blah, 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 blah. So this is good. I think building up a relationship, I guess more for long term, like ongoing. So really getting people like involved, like build up those personal connections. So, but also I think what I said. So I think Monica has a very good example to show people how this sort of ranking works. But for me, sometimes I usually will say, are you happy with our political scene right now? And also, like right now in our voting system, the final winner only gets 30% of vote, and they are the winner. Do you think this is a good way to vote? Do you think if we have a new system to require the final winner has at least more than 50% vote, do you think that's a more reasonable, more common sense choice? So a lot of people are saying, yeah. And then I will say, some people will say, okay, why do you think I should support this? So usually that feel like a key talking points. Probably you need to work on your own to come up with a few points like most resonate with yourself. And of course, you just talked like maybe practice to find the best version. You feel comfortable to, you feel like you can convince people, at least you feel strongly about. And also, sometimes we do need to prepare for some questions. Like people will say, hey, can you tell me what's the downside of this system? I think for people who ask that, usually they are more serious, think about that. Yeah, I think what you said are all very good, but what's the downside? Are there any issue with this voting system? So I think Kyle yesterday gave a very good answer for this one. So basically he mentioned the two major parties that they usually are pretty much against this. And this maybe is kind of the biggest obstacle to like how to make it a reality. But also some people will say this system is very complex. So for that one, we actually have a good answers. To some extent, it is a little bit more complex than our current system because you need to rank different candidates. But for the cities, for the states, they have already implemented this. So like close to 90% of the voters, they say, yeah, I think it's not complex. Like at least they feel like they have no trouble to complete it. And so I think like the statistics, the data, the reality speaks louder than people's speculation. So even for like older people, like in general, younger people are more open to new ideas. So for older generation, maybe they are more reserved about this new system. But in reality, even older people, their participation rate and the success rate is none less than the current system. So it means even they feel, oh, maybe a little bit difficult for me to get used to, but then they can do it. They can finish it without any difficulties. So I think this is a little bit start. Now we are opening up for questions. So yeah, Carolyn.
Okay, so we use ranked choice voting in primaries and in the election. And also, can we use it? We can't really use it beyond states because not everybody has ranked choice voting. Like we can't do it for a presidential election, can we?
Can we?
Yes.
Yeah, because the election is all local, right? Because each state come up with your result.
So we could actually.
Yeah, exactly. As long as each state are adopting ranked choice voting, then for the whole country, yes, for presidential.
And how many people can be on a slate? And also, you have to rank them all.
You don't have to, like, you can just select one, like how right now you just vote for one, that's totally fine. But in order to make the ranked choice voting work perfectly, it's recommended you rank them all.
All?
No, you don't have, at least like the top few.
So,
Like, yeah, go
there
ahead.
there are different models of doing it, but the most common is a top 4 or a top 5. And so, even in Alaska, for example, there were 50 people on the first ballot. And so they have a top 4 system. Some of the top 4 goes to the ranked choice voting runoff. And to make sure that your vote counts, your best interest is to rank all 4. But if you only like one and feel indifferent about all the others, then you're allowed to choose one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think New York City, did they do
5.
5. Yeah.
But Maine doesn't as many as you want. So.
Yeah, I think in that they have an open primary. And then, so everybody can show up like as a candidate, but of course, each state have their own rules, like how can you access ballots, like, well, like what kind of criteria you need to meet to be able to be the write-in candidate. Then like Alaska, they do top 4. And so I like that one because after the primary, you only have 4 choices. So you do not need to go round and round like forever to come up with a winner. So any other question? I thought you seem to want to follow up.
I did have another one, but it went.
Sorry. Yeah.
Is there anything showing that ranked choice voting increases voter turnout for like disenfranchised voters? So
yes,
taking people who have said I'm independent, I'm libertarian, I'm green,
and
I'm just sitting it out because I don't want to throw my vote away.
Yeah.
Is there evidence of pulling a few percentages?
So I'll say a few words, then Kyle, I'm sure you can say more. So we had statistics like for cities where ranked choice voting is used, the voter participation increased to 10%. So
Increased participation 10%.
Yes.
You can
So-
also share what's in the chat just so that they can see.
I think yeah, people who are online can go to check the chat.
I'll ask the questions that are in the chat.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the biggest advantage for ranked choice voting is for people who used to be kind of disengaged with our voting. Now they feel incentive to vote because in the past, a lot of like a third party or even some people, they are Democrat or Republican from these 2 major parties, but their favorite candidate is not a front runner. So even those people say, okay, if I vote for my favorite, my top choice, I know he's not going to get a party nomination. Why bother? Why go to vote? But with this ranked choice voting, people can always vote for the true favorite because they know if they still resonate with one party than the other, even his favorite did not win, he can always rank the party front runner as a second choice. So now he will not be a spoiler and he can vote truly for his favorite.
So in the chat is the fairboard stuff, about the 20% turnout.
Okay.
It's put up there. And then I was looking for, if you go on the fairboard website, they also have the diversity stuff. I was looking for the,
Yeah, I also heard like women and the people of color, the winner percentage for women and the people of color also went up with ranked choice voting. So Kyle, anything?
I'm sharing.
No,
the-
great job covering
Thank
all of
you.
this.
This is showing the demographics of the New York City Council after the election when the mayor was voting for president. So, that was a extreme. And it went from 28% women to 61% women.
Yeah, I feel like we are supposed to be the #1 democracy in the whole world, but our voter participation is a shame. I think I definitely really looking forward to have this new voting system, like which can make people feel like the voice that does count. And Carolyn.
For a third party or fourth party, it's sometimes difficult to get on the ballot because there's a required number of signatures. Is that going to be part of the ranked choice voting messaging or on the ballot or not?
Yeah, Kyle, you want to take this one?
Good question. That is something that we have legal help currently looking into if it would violate Ohio's single subject rule for a ballot initiative to do ranked choice voting with the like Alaskan style open primaries at the same time. And so we're trying to figure out if it can be one initiative or if it would have to be separate, because ideally, you're right, we would have more relaxed ballot access rules in order to allow more candidates and parties to run, because that's needed in order to diversify for ranked choice voting to work the way that it should. Yeah.
So I love ranked choice voting, but I'm trying to determine personally where I put my energy, because we could have ranked choice voting, but still be gerrymandered to death. That it doesn't matter how we vote, nothing will be accomplished because of the gerrymandering. Which of the solutions should be?
Yeah, this question came up yesterday. I think Kyle will take this one.
Yeah, so the question is, if we have to choose between gerrymandering and ranked choice voting with our limited amount of time, which is more important? Now, I would say ranked choice voting because it.
Because they're so far away from.
So I just repeated it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Monica. So the reason I say ranked choice voting is because it applies to all of these inherently single winner contests in addition to the legislative contests. So it can apply to president, senator, governor, all of the state level. And yes, the legislatures are important because they're representative, but they're a small portion of the races that are affected. And the way that I look also at how ranked choice voting can affect the gerrymandering issue is that the gerrymanderers draw those lines based on the assumption of a two-party system. And so if more parties and more candidates can run, those lines get harder to draw, could become irrelevant. And in some ways, even if they are the same districts, they can still affect the type of candidate who wins, even if they're from a certain party. So they've been gerrymandered to give advantage to the winner of an extreme partisan primary. But what happens if all of a sudden they have to compete for a majority and then they're more pulled to the center potentially? This is how it changes the incentive structure. It also changes how the incentive structure applies to politicians who are on our current redistricting committee, who we know the Secretary of State texted his chief of staff, said, "This is asinine, I shouldn't vote for it," his words. And his chief of staff was basically like, well, you need to vote for it because of the party anyways, because he wants to run for Senate and he wants his extreme partisan nomination. Imagine if he, thinking through all that, thought, this is asinine. The voters, the majority of voters will know that it's asinine, and I will have to compete to win the votes of the majority of voters rather than just the extremists in my own primary. That could have influenced the redistricting commission to follow the law, potentially.
The Supreme Court ordering them to do.
True, but there were no political repercussions for disobeying the Supreme Court in that case. Yeah, but I'm with you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Carolyn.
We went over the folks that are in redistricting, and they see how this could really shift the control of one party over the other. I think it's real win in both.
Yeah,
So,
I agree, Carolyn.
but I agree with you. I think ranked choice voting is gonna make things change faster.
Yes.
With Matt Huffman in charge of the state house right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carolyn is reinforcing that we need to do both the independent redistricting commission and the ranked choice voting, but that they will be stronger together. And I think a lot of the people in the Fair Districts Coalition are starting to realize that. And that's a good base of support for ranked choice voting, that we should be reaching out to these same people and saying like, hey, ranked choice voting can help here too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carolyn.
It's a win.
It's a win for decency and democracy. Yeah. Yeah. And our republic. Yeah.
So I just saw from another state's slides, they say ranked choice voting is a common sense solution for healthy democracy. I really like this phrase. I think we should use that as a tagline. Common sense solution for healthy democracy. So any other questions? Yeah.
Can we talk about this?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want me to do that?
Yes.
Or do you want to do it?
I actually, yeah, how about you just do it?
I do it? Okay.
Yeah, like for our next,
Because that's the sort of breakout.
yeah.
Okay.
So Parker, have you shared the sign up sheet? You said you did, right?
Andrew's sharing.
Okay, Andrew shared. Yeah. So initially we said we are going to have breakout room, but now we are going to do it together. So basically, Monica is going to really kind of hone into these cameras in part.
Okay, right. Well, I'm actually going to talk about all of things because all the things are actually important. Canvassing is incredibly important. So, can you guys on the Zoom, oops, this is all blurry. Can you guys on the Zoom drop this sign up, which is actually the paper form of the sign up? Let me know, Kyle, if they don't have the paper form version of it. But everybody here has this, right? Okay. So the first thing is about a tax is about a donation. You know, that's super helpful. Let's jump for the time being to the next one. The new volunteer orientation and onboarding every Wednesday from 7 to 8. So is that Danny? Is that Parker? Parker. All right. So Parker does the Wednesday 7 o'clock recurring. Our friend here, Ryan, mentioned that he couldn't attend that. Is that ever offered at other times, or what do you do in instances when people can't do that?
We don't have a system of answers yet, but I'm available on, I have several ways that you can get in contact with me, and we will set that up before the meet tonight. So
Okay.
if you want orienting,
Okay. Does anybody else want to do the new volunteer orientation and onboarding? I can't see the chat on here. Why can't I see the chat? Is that because can you get rid of this so we can see the chat? Just cancel.
So
Close, yeah. Just hit close, drop down, close.
Okay.
Just close, yeah,
Okay.
and then bring the chat up. Okay, great. Okay, cool. All right, so does anybody else in the room need the new volunteer onboarding? Hey, oh my gosh, and he already went canvassing. That's amazing. Hi, Abe. I'm sorry I missed you today. by the way. So are you able to make the Wednesday?
No, that time slot's really bad.
Really bad. Okay. Okay, so Parker
So
will
how
follow.
about the rent? Like you to work with Parker.
Okay, cool.
Great.
And then anybody else on here, if you want to put that in the chat, Parker will get with you as well. All right, cool. Next, training. So Rank the Vote National offers a lot of training. So we offer a pitch training. I know we did a little role play with Kyle, me and Kyle, but there is a full canvassing training every Thursday at 8. Does anybody here? That is actually a very good training. And you'll probably get to meet Sean or David or Kaz on that. Does anybody here want to do the Thursday at 8? Anybody in the room? Anybody on the chat?
For the 15th.
Oh, cool. Okay, great.
I do have a question on the canvassing.
Yes.
I said, it was fascinating to watch, like, the role play.
Okay.
And I see you both introducing the concept of.
And what did I talk about?
What's that?
I didn't talk about politics, right?
Yeah. but
I
it
talked
was
about
like-
cookies and milkshakes,
Yeah,
right?
no, it was great.
Very non-threatening.
So you were both introducing the concept of ranked choice voting, and it quickly became like, do you want to sign up and volunteer, proselytize it? And those to be like very separate conversations. In the canvassing you're trained us to do, is the goal to find new volunteers to show up here or broader community awareness?
Number 1, supporters. First ask. Number 2, volunteers. Number 3, donors. It's very hard to get donors. Kyle did get somebody throwing cash at him. It does happen. We did have in one of the states at a farmer's market,
Yeah.
you make the ask,
Right.
supporters, volunteers, donors.
Okay.
I have been terrible over these past 3 days about asking about the donor thing. But we did have somebody in one of the states at a farmer's market. The guy was like, sure, I'll go home and do it. Guess what he did? He went home, $1,000 recurring. Over a zucchini. Over a zucchini.
Wow.
So here's
Not the volunteers.
so you're
but like
never gonna,
support-
yeah, okay. So supporters just is you like the idea,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Volunteers is, well, we're gonna follow up with you. Parker's going to have an onboarding. We're gonna talk about lots of different things like this that you can get involved in, right? Parker's gonna talk about the organization, right? And we'll see what happens. And then the donation, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna add, when I canvas, I tend to just say, hey, tell all your friends and family, thanks so much for, signing up to get these emails, and just tell anyone you know.
Yeah.
Super
Community
easy.
awareness is actually a lot better
Yeah,
than
exactly. So-
Yeah, so the volunteering piece can get complicated, right? The support is easy. The donation, well, either they're gonna throw cash at you, they're gonna go home and make a donation, but the volunteering is very delicate and it is tremendously important to the organization. And so that's why we have Parker on the Wednesday new volunteer onboarding. Because like I said, we just canvassed 150 people, right? Somebody needs to go through and try to engage those people, right? I put a bunch of notes down there about this person's a potential speaker. I already talked to them about being a potential speaker, So we did put some notes down, but you have to work. You have to work. So usually we see in a minute, usually we see about 10% of people will say yes to volunteering. And then about 10 to 20% of them actually will. So like we had 7,400 volunteers, right, in Massachusetts on the ballot question, and then only 500 actually collected signatures. But hey, 500 collected signatures, that's pretty nice. 1,000 signed up to collect signatures. They pledged they made a pledge that they would do 150,000. They did half of that. But so amazing, 1,000 volunteers. Amazing that 500 of them, half of them actually did it. And amazing that they did actually half of, I think like one person did 5 times as much as he pledged. That was like one person, like the best collector in the state. Question.
Yeah,
On the donation front, I got an email from another organization this week that's saying that they were eligible for Amazon Smile. If you're not familiar with that.
Oh, yeah, I use that, yeah. Yeah, we can push that out.
Ohio was on that, and so I.
Oh, cool.
From water or whatever it was.
I do that.
And that's like,
I
you
did not
know,
know.
I would
I'm going to
assume most of us
switch.
here do Amazon, and you know, you have to switch it on your app and also on the website, depending on which one you do. But I mean, I always do my app, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Abe just pointed out that we're on Amazon Smile. And if you know of any other platforms where we can register, as soon as we got the 501c3 registration official, I got us on there, and on Charity Navigator, we're like verified. So if you know any other orgs, we can do that too. People have donated through their companies that do the matching donations because we have that EIN number for as a registered nonpartisan nonprofit.
Kroger, I think of Kroger. Kroger.
Yes,
also
so what
has-
we need is do we have a fundraising lead?
That's Denise is our current.
All of those tremendous ideas that you all just spit out, what is the email?
D. Riley at rankthevoteohio.org.
Send them along and she will get us set up. So canvassing, we talked about canvassing. There's 2 canvassing ideas on here, but Grace talked about the canvassing captains. I'm just going to skip over that and get to the next page. In terms of, okay, the next thing, fundraising. One of the best ways to fundraise, there's a lot of different ways to fundraise, house parties. That is when you basically like invite your friends to your house and basically have a party and talk about ranked choice voting. Does anybody think that they can have a house party? Did anybody put that down?
Lisa, I think you can have a Reddit friends party.
Okay. That is one of the easiest and best ways to raise thousands of dollars really super quick. They just had one in California, $23,000. They just had 3 this fall in Arizona, 2,000 to 3,000 a pop. So sometimes it's like you have a house party and you raise $200, and guess what? That's fine. You know, every little bit helps, and it all raises awareness, right? And I like to think of it as a good due diligence, because here's what I tend to do. I tend to work on an issue or for a candidate, and I'm spinning my wheels doing all this work. And guess what I don't do? I don't post about it. I don't tell anybody about it because I'm so busy helping the issue or the candidate. And I don't tell my loved ones, right? And then they'll see me and they'll be like, Monica, what are you working on? I haven't even told them what I'm working on, right? So the house party is a way for you to actually share your personal narrative of why ranked choice voting, like y'all did at the beginning of this, with your loved ones. Have you told all of your loved ones that your friends and family, that like how much you care about this issue, right? So that's why I like the house party, because otherwise, like, I end up getting super involved, helping a candidate, helping an issue, and I don't even have time to tell people like what I'm doing. So it's sort of like that due diligence of keeping everybody up to date. Call party, phone banking. We just went canvassing. When are we calling those people? Is it the Tuesday at 10 to noon? Or is that not when we do the call parties?
We've moved them around a bit.
Okay.
Just based on who's actually available that week, so.
Nice.
It is, but it isn't. I mean,
It
we've
is,
done
but-
that a couple
okay.
weeks. We've just been doing weekend calls because that's when the lists have been
On
available.
the list have been
so
available. Okay.
flexible.
So it's flexible. So if you check that, oh, there's a phone bank on my own as well. If they want a phone bank, how do they get with you?
D. Morris at rankthevoteohio.org.
Okay. Is that Morris, Morris?
It is.
Okay, cool. All right, the chapter organizing. We've been talking a lot about canvassing. We did the role play. Can anybody raise their hand right now to try to be a canvas, see if it works out for you, to be a canvas captain in any of these areas? Let's start with the first one, downtown Columbus, Upper Arlington, Grandview Heights, and the people on the Zoom can, oh wait, there's stuff in the chat. I've gotten my mom and aunts to volunteer at works to talk to who you know. Oh, thank you, Andrew. Okay, cool. All right, downtown Columbus, Upper Arlington, Grandview Heights. Does anybody think that they can? Abe.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Add it to that list. Then.
What?
If we add Franklin Park and Old Town East to that section.
Yeah, definitely.
Franklin Park, what was the other one?
Old Town East, it's
Okay.
similar neighborhood. People know Bexley, but. I mean,
So
right
Carolyn,
down there versus towards-
Do you guys want to co-captain that? It's way more fun with a friend.
oh,
up to you.
my,
You don't know.
I don't want to do it.
Okay, okay,
I'll plan this out.
okay, with
great,
a
great.
cool,
Yeah, my
sweet.
experience is at least have two people will have a so much better result.
Yeah,
Like one side went and the other two did not show up. So the result was much worse. But when we have 2 or 3 people, it was like people instantly feel more trusting.
all right, let's try to just get through this quick because I want to be respectful of everybody's time and we have 10 minutes left. Clintonville and Worthington. Is anybody in that area? No? Anybody on the chat? Nobody's there? Okay. Dublin, Hillard, and Powell. I think Gina, I don't know if she's
Gina,
still
yeah.
on. Did anybody want to captain try at least? Hillard, Dublin, and Powell. I know
So
that with our.
I'm in Dublin.
Okay.
And, but yeah,
Okay.
whoever shows up, I can canvas with them.
Yeah, so Grace can canvas with whomever. Does anybody want to try to do that area?
For the canvas events all gonna be on the calendar.
Yeah, we would love to get them on the calendar.
Yes.
Yeah, but like for the canvassing leaders, we have to then on decide where within these neighborhoods they're going to have the canvases. But then I mean, also you're a canvassing leader. I don't know if you explain. You're like not out there by yourself doing it. It's like we are helping you do the pitch training.
Yes.
And like trying to send more volunteers
Right.
with you after you've organized it. And hopefully gotten some of your own friends to come as well. Yeah.
Right, so we can set up phone banks in a radius of your area and we can, because we have amazing, because did I mention how important the phone banking is in addition to the canvassing? It's super important. So we can call through and recruit people to join you.
Right, but it would be up to the leaders to, that as we're doing like these bi-weekly canvases in the Columbus area.
Yeah.
To say like, okay, we're going to do this canvas at this location at this time, and then tell us at like the state level, and then we put it on the website.
Yep.
Right.
So decide what a good place would be. And, or if you need help with that, you know, you guys can like literally call me. I will put my phone number in the chat for you. I don't want anybody confused about any of this. How do I type here?
Yeah, because I'm in the Dublin area, so I'll probably be able to do some of the canvassing. I don't know if I'll be able to do it.
Great.
So yeah, any questions about canvassing, you can ask me. You can go on that pitch training on Thursdays. Okay, so did you say you would do Dublin? I didn't catch the end of that.
Oh, I was saying I could probably do some of the canvassing events. I don't know. If I
Okay.
can do it.
Oh, okay. What about, okay, what about Reynoldsburg or Gahana?
Kahana. Jay, is Jay still there?
I don't know if Jay, yeah, Jay is still here. I don't know if he is, he doesn't have his video.
So how about Jay, are you willing to lead Kahana team?
Or anybody for Grove City or Delaware?
Delaware, basically, that's the university, the
Mhm.
Western.
Okay.
University. Yeah,
Anybody for those areas? No?
probably not.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you Abe, for raising your hand. We'll at least get those going.
So by the way, since we are talking about canvassing, the first one on the other page, on the front page, so the immediately first one will be this Saturday. We are going to canvass at the Washington Farmers Market, the winter market, basically is the Washington Mall. So like in summer, they do at the downtown Washington, but in winter, they do in front of, I mean, inside. The market is inside the Washington Mall, but usually we just do the canvassing at the entrance. We had a great success, I mean, for another ballot issue, but it was a great place. I think the people in that area, they tend to be pretty open-minded. And so we are doing this Saturday. Who wants to join me?
So are you the canvas captain for that one?
I'm going to go.
You're
that
going to
one.
go?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Can anybody go this Saturday or the next one is the next Saturday?
So like Ryan and sorry, I missed that. Yeah, you two are going to get on the onboarding, and if you can go to the pitch training, and this Saturday will be great opportunity for you to test out. Yeah. Oh, great.
Cool.
Yeah, next Saturday I'll be out of town, but I'm sure someone can join you.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. And then just wrapping this up, was anybody interested in training as a speaker?
Great.
Yes. Okay.
Carolyn.
Oh, so what's Justin's email? Is that the process to connect with Justin to get training?
It is jwells@rickthevotohio.org. Yeah.
Okay. And so that's the process to connect with him. Pretty much. Okay.
How about we ask Justin to reach out to you, Carolyn? So Justin is going to reach out.
Celia has been helping Justin set up the speaker training.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Awesome.
that is someone contacts Justin.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And then is anybody interested in back office stuff, not talking to people? So we need help with tech. Oh. So we need help with tech. Do we have a tech lead right now?
No.
No.
Well, Scott.
Oh, Scott. Oh, okay.
Except Scott is our interim tech lead.
Oh.
For a full-time.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, cool. So
Great,
you two
great.
can connect.
Oh, nice.
I'm just gonna say Columbus is a tech city. We have a lot of people who want to help with the tech, but we do need a leader because from there we can get all of those people organized and mobilized.
Well, I've been in tech management for the last 15 years. So
That's even better than usual.
Awesome.
And in February, I'm done with my MBA. So until then, like I said,
If you guys want any help with learning the team lead management part of the management job, I can help you with that. So send me an email.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we have 3 minutes, so I'm sorry. I'm just going to get through this and also helping with researching speaking engagements, booking speaking engagements, and researching canvassing. So before I came out here, I'm sitting where I live in another state, and I'm like, I've never been here. Where can I canvas? And I was like, and I came up with some things, and some of those were good ideas, and some of them were bad ideas. And I found that out this week. And that person who does that research doesn't even necessarily need to be the canvasser. So does anybody want to help with that?
Oh, Nathan said he's going to help me. Yes, great.
Nathan, so you'll help with researchy stuff like where we could do speaking gigs and canvassing. Cool. What about scheduling? Wait, so Carolyn, you wanted to be a speaker, right? Trained to be a speaker. So then what's going to happen is Carolyn's going to be this amazing speaker that Justin's going to train, and she's going to be like this. She needs to get booked. We need to get her out there talking to people. Do you think you could be like, hi, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know, basically, yeah, she needs an agent. Speaker's agent, way better, way sexier than speaker's agent. Do you think you could also book her? You could be her agent? Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay.
Oh, great.
I don't know how much I can do.
Cool.
Trail.
Someone doing the oversight on the canvassing events is also helpful, or else you wind up with people running that business and the rest of it.
Yeah, so I am totally happy with helping anybody with the canvassing thing. Also, we have the Thursday night training. So in terms of being arrested here, right? So I was Googling in another state places to canvass. I show up and I'm like, I'm not sure that's like necessarily the best. Right. So actually some of the places that I did that we canvassed, well, we learned like there's a permitting process and all that stuff. So yeah, you want to send your canvassers to good places where it's like you're following the process and they're not going to get kicked out, and all of that's researchy stuff too. So awesome. Did you want to skip over the social media or should we do that too, Kyle?
Yeah.
It's okay.
I think.
Okay. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. So there are a few items at the bottom of the sign up sheet. Basically, everyone, please follow us at the Twitter, Rank the Vote Ohio, and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Basically, you can promote your social media. And so initially we thought we're going to do a pledge. Are you in the mood to pledge? Like, I'm going to collect how many signatures this month?
I pledge allegiance to Grace Lang.
Oh, okay, I'm going to cry. Yeah, I think Monica mentioned this. I think it's a good idea because if you kind of have a goal in your mind, maybe you will try to like more work on it. So I'm terrible with like keeping up with the stuff unless I have a deadline or I have a goal. So I think this makes total sense after Monica mentioned to me. So just make a goal in your own mind. Don't need to tell anyone like I'll collect 20 signature, 30 signature, or make one donor.
Yeah, so maybe let's go around the room, at least for like giving us indicators, like the idea is setting like a personal pledge of like, oh, I think I can canvas, number one, that. And then like number two, what I think I can do. Like, does anybody think that they could say today, like, I think I could canvas a certain amount? Like, Grace, let's start with you.
Like, I think, so canvassing, so what did we do? We did like, I don't know that we tallied it, but I think it's like 150, 175 in the past 3 days. That's what we basically did. What do you think you could do? So you're gonna go out
Yeah.
this weekend and you're gonna go out the next.
If I can go to both, I would
Yeah.
say 50, but
50?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, once I collected 80 in 3 hours.
In 3 hours. Where were you?
Okay, that's a different. That's for the like
A
for
different thing?
candidate. For
Oh, okay.
candidate, I collect signature.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I can only go once, so I will say 20, 30.
20 or 30
Yeah.
for going once.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Abe, do you have a sense?
No, I've done it once.
You've done it once. 20. Awesome. So yes.
Suggestion, I mean, all of us, you asked to take leadership in
Yeah.
canvassing things. Maybe we work together in like an area all together.
Yeah.
To get some experience.
Yes.
And see how we like it.
Yes. Yes.
Like maybe work in his.
Yes.
district.
Go with Abe.
Give
Yeah.
him a look for it, and meeting, and then we just show up and we do some of the
Yeah.
Turks.
Exactly.
I don't know if you're using like vote builders
No.
or you're using.
No.
Just using precincts.
Nope.
Not going
None of
to-
that.
it's not
We are,
going to
it's
go.
not that type. We'll talk about that on the
Oh,
pitch
yeah.
training. I don't want to take up too much time on that. We're generating our own.
It's not
No,
going to go.
no.
It's not van, it's not door to door. It's something totally different that you're not familiar with yet. When
Okay.
you go to the pitch training, you'll learn. We're basically talking to strangers.
So I
The
I
signups that
like
we
the-
got,
I
yeah.
like the question you brought up, Caroline,
Yeah.
because when people say canvassing, usually they think they're knocking doors.
Yeah.
But no, we just stay at like a public place, like in front of the farmer's market. And the people walking by, you just approach people, say, hi, good morning.
Just like I did. Hey, can I ask you a
Yeah,
question?
exactly.
We went to Capital University, Ohio State, and Wesleyan, and that's basically what we did.
Are we not supposed to go to the door?
No.
We just don't really have the infrastructure.
I mean, you can.
Yeah,
Here's what
exactly.
I will tell you. It takes a long time to walk up and down driveways. It's very slow.
Yes, yes.
But I will say Caroline, yeah,
Okay. Great,
yeah,
good.
this one's not very good, but other ones. In terms of speaking gigs, when you do speaking gigs, it's the same thing, but guess what? You sign up everybody at the same time. So speaking gigs, if you did like one speaking gig a month, that could be 20 people, if there's 20 people at the speaking gig. Yeah.
I've done 4 ballot initiatives.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
awesome.
Carolyn, how about this Saturday? Would you?
No, I am booked through the holidays.
Oh, I
Once
see.
the holidays are over, then I can work.
Okay, I see. Yeah, just in case anyone wants to kind of have a little bit of experience, or even just come to observe like how we do canvassing. So we will be. So I'm not sure who is going to join me. So we'll be at the farmers market, Washington Farmers Market this Saturday. So for the first time comer, like 9 to 12. Can you join me then?
I can't this Saturday, but probably the next.
Oh,
Saturday.
great. You can go with
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And so, yeah, I'll make sure I recruit one more person to join me. So yeah, this Saturday. So I think we went over a little, but I think we had a very constructive conversation. Yes. Next meeting, we are trying to target every first Wednesday, like every month. So will that work for everyone? Just like today is the first Wednesday of December. Okay, but will that work for most of you guys? Okay, so yeah, for the online people, if you have like strongly against this date, please let us know. So otherwise, we'll tentatively decide like every month, like first Wednesday. Okay, I think this is great. I'm so happy we had a very constructive meeting today. So I now I'll say, yeah, yes, let's take. Oh, for people stay at the Zoom, like
If you all go up there.
so. How about for the Zoom people first?
They're gonna be in it because they're all gonna be up there.
Oh yeah, that's a wonderful idea.
If you wanna take the spotlight off and put it in gallery, and then if everybody can get up there, then we can get the thing.
Yes, please
And I don't
come.
need to be in it, so I can,
Oh, so we take it off the spotlight.
yeah, take it off the spotlight and put it on the gallery. And then I am.
Put this.
And can somebody hold like a clipboard or? That's something about
Whoops, does somebody know how to remove the spotlight?
Remove the spotlight then. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the board. Can you bring that up
Was-
there?
Top right where it says. view.
yeah. How do you want it to be?
Gallery.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Is that everyone?
Can you flip it around? so
Oh
it
yes,
says
we
Ohio?
want that.
Yes, hold the QR thing. Who else wants to?
Oh, okay.
Where do you want, who wants to push in or out?
in,
Yeah.
yeah.
Open. Yeah, no, that's great. Right. Let's show you. Is that everybody? Yeah, okay. Okay, and you got that, and you got that. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, ready? Yay. Oh, and we got one here too.
I think you'll probably cover the camera a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you. I will send it to, I guess, Grace. Thank you. Sorry. That was super weird.
Right, so,
Yeah.
are any of you going to join us at
So, do you guys know where we're headed next?
To the Old Oak, it's about an 8 or 9 minute walk from here, if you want to drive. If you want to walk with us or you can drive, because I know that.
Oh, we cannot park.
Library, it might be close by the time we're done. But we did this last week after our statewide meeting, at the library, which is really fun, just get food and drinks afterwards. And it's, yeah, it's called the Old Oak.
Last thing I forgot to cover, like down the road, we are going to use FaceTime for the communication. So we'll send out the link later. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Wanted to see because orientation times did not work.
So I just leave this with you.
Maybe you can take it.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun at Old Oak.